Every man, woman, and child remembers the day that Aether first captured their imagination, that gravity became nothing more than an inconvenience. Prepare yourselves, fair citizens of New York, to feel such wonder again. The Helicline Institute of Aethonics is announcing an early Aether Tech showcase ahead of the 1939 World's Fair. So come one and come all, and be inspired. Gaze upon new skyward frontiers and see that there is no alternative to a future amongst the heavens.
Looks like it's time. There's no thriving in this city, not when the shadow of the uppers keeps the rest of us fumbling in the dark. They get the sunlight and the cotton clouds, while the lowers is lost in the dark at midday. But with a job like today's, I can catch my breath. No guns, no complications, not like last time. I'd sooner throw myself into the well and let the gravity storms pull me apart than go through that again. And if this goes well, I'll never have to. I can still hear my Zio's last breaths echoing in the gunshots that rip the ground from beneath my feet.
Now leaving the station. Please
I could leave this smuggler business behind. I wouldn't have to worry about backroom deals, meddling tyrants, or pulling pennies from the smoke of a gun. I'd find a place up here where the air is clean, where the sun wakes you up in the morning, and the stars say goodnight. It'd be just me and the open sky, finally free. I slip into one of the ritziest hideaways in the uppers, long after the rich and sauced have sauntered off to bed. The glass cage cleans up nice after hours, but no amount of soap will wash away the stink of high-class gin and imported cologne. My shoe gives the glass floor a wary tap as I scan the room. I ignore the booze hound glued to the table and turn to the stern-faced bartender. The regulars flock here to take in the view over a bottle of something expensive and bubbly. Every now and then, a soul gets grounded. And this is the best seat in the house. As good a mouthwash as any. Might come in handy later, too. Currency in my line of work isn't always green. The bartender gives me a look as I grab the long-necked top-shelf swill and take a drink. The booze hound's a whistling faucet, and his drool-spattered watch is worth more than my whole outfit. My eyes dart to the back door. If things go sideways, I'm a quick sprint from the exit. The bartender's eyes follow my hands, making sure I don't get too familiar with the patron's belongings. I approach the counter. Morgan? I give a curt nod without response. Any other gift of familiarity would be wasted. Wilson out? A deep sullenness passes over the man.
What can I do for you, Miss Rendazu?
It's been a while. How's business, Morgan?
Business carries on as usual, Miss Rendazzo. Mr. Blanc's morning is full, and in the evening, we host Kit Holiday.
I know that name from the radio. Shame I'll have to miss hearing her live. The glass cage might tolerate my presence during after hours, but its patience runs dry whenever respectable clientele's on the floor. Morgan's eyes are gray, his knuckles raw, and the scent of 2-day-old body odor breaks through his strong cologne. Wilson never misses a shift.
Never's a big word, Miss Randazzo, especially in this line of work.
I got a meeting with Mr. Blanc. Let him know I'm here.
So soon? I'm surprised. And without your uncle.
His eyes meet mine, challenging me to say anything, to reach for my piece, to balk, maybe even cry. I slowly inhale. It's too early to let some high-nosed stiff get his kicks in. So I smile. I'm missing an Apollo Diamond picture to be here, Morgan. Help a girl out. The bartender frowns while he polishes a small tumbler. He's expecting me. I don't intend to make him wait. Do you? That did the trick. He reaches his hand under the counter, slowly. A part of me waits for a fiery roar of buckshot to tear through the mahogany. Instead, I hear a click and muted bell.
He'll be with you shortly, Miss Randazzo. I assume you can show yourself out afterwards.
A familiar scent fills the air and lazy smoke drifts to the corner of my eye, drawing my attention to a darkened booth. My eyes dart to the back door. The table's already set. A narrow beam of light splits the booth. On my side, a glass of my favorite whiskey. On the other, an ember held in the hands of a man more shadow than flesh.
Drink.
Excuse me, Mr. Blanc, but I'm here for business, not pleasure. The ember leans closer. I sweat under its pointed gaze.
Very well. A shame, Randazzo.
He stubs out the pleasantries with his dying cigarette. Onto a new smoke. Onto business.
A young woman from the Heights requests transport to the Lowers. Nowhere in particular.
The Heights? What's some girl from upstairs want in the slums?
I don't care. She requested discretion.
She seem like the type to cause trouble? If she's getting into my car, I need to know what to expect.
She is young, naive, harmless. No threat to you.
You're the one who knows things, and that's all you know?
The girl's hiding. I found her buying passage from an unsavory sort, and I offered her an alternative. She's desperate, and she had money.
That was nothing, but more than I could have hoped from a man who charges a premium on information. Sounds too easy.
For you, Randazzo, too easy is all you get. For now.
And if she brings in heat from the Heights?
I trust you will adapt.
Where's Wilson? Morgan looks worse for wear out there. The yellow flame flashes on caught breath.
Mr. Wilson is no longer under my employ.
Shame. He owes me money. Know where I can find him? The booth darkens to a silent gloom. Even the embers quiet their dull murmurings as Mr. Blanc leans forward again.
You'd do best to forget Mr. Wilson. Him and those he associated with. Or you too will find yourself out of my employ.
I'd struck a nerve, one that ran deep. Too deep for me to feel comfortable going any further. Mr. Blanc is a monster in his own right. I don't want to know what ghosts haunt his closet. I'll get it done in a few hours. And maybe next time we talk, the work will require more than my babysitting skills.
Your reputation is mud, Randazzo. This is charity. Do the job. You'll be paid. Half your usual.
Half my usual? You called me up here to insult me?
You are not the same smuggler you were a year ago. I pay for who you are now.
It's a conversation I'd had several times already with too many clients. Conversations I'd lost. Turns out one bad day wipes out a lifetime of reliability. I had to try again. I'm every bit the same person I was. That's why you want me on this job. Why you need me. You can't risk your little Heights socialite giving you a bad name with the fat cats upstairs.
If she held any influence, she wouldn't be running away.
So she's running away. And he didn't dispute the first part. You could have called anyone, but you called me because I am the same person. No one else will protect her like I will. That you know. And that's worth a little respect. His cigarette extinguishes itself, obscuring what little of his face I could see in pure black. He did need this girl protected. Question was, from whom?
Your usual, then. And Randazzo, I expect your usual? She's down below after stepping out for air. You'll find her there, being obvious. Good luck, Randazzo.
A string of yellow cabs idle at the curb, their vultures squawking at a young woman standing on the sidewalk, barely 20. She's a bird of paradise, too colorful for the drab concrete jungle around her. Obvious was right. That's the one. It's really something. Someday, I'll wake up to this every morning. Zio always liked cabbies, said they were useful. This is where he and I disagreed. One of the buzzards has her cornered. The girl's smile is a mask. She's being polite, but she doesn't realize how ugly this could get. Hey, beat it. This fare's mine. One of the buzzards has her cornered. Hey, beat it. This fare's mine. The cabbie gawps at me, stunned I dare intrude on his meal ticket. He sneers and turns back to the girl possessively.
You pay her no mind, doll. Listen, you like music?
I step forward and dig the snout of my pistol into the unwashed folds of his exposed neck. At the cold touch of iron, he lets out a little rat squeak. Now that's music.
Oh boy,
You're with me, Principessa. The girl locks eyes with me and instantly puts the pieces together. She's a fast one.
thanks ever so much, but my friend's here? Have a nice day.
She trots over to me. The buzzards grumble and fly off, on the prowl for their next piece of roadside meat, leaving one stubborn hanger-on to squawk.
You better watch your back, girlie. We'll see you later.
That sure was scary. I didn't realize... thank you, Miss... Smuggler?
I give her a once-over, like a filament warming up inside a bulb. Her shaken nerves are slowly replaced with a beaming smile. My silence doesn't seem to deter her optimism.
So, you're my driver. I'm Nellie. Well, Dr. Eleanor Reinhardt, technically, but please, Nellie's fine.
Name's Gia. So, doctor, huh?
That's right. My degree is in theoretical aethonics. I did my dissertation on Cherenkov radiation's impact on Aether particulate flux. Columbia, then NYU for postgrad. Such a gorgeous campus. Have you been?
Can't say I have.
It's pretty close to the Helicline Institute of Aethonics. Olympus Park is what most people call it. Where I work. Or worked, anyway.
She fidgets with her big, overstuffed briefcase. Something about it bothers me. This isn't your average rich socialite clutching her purse in a rough part of town. She's clinging to it like a life raft.
I hope you don't mind me saying so, but You make quite a striking impression.
The girl's eyes sparkle with curiosity. She's a bright little thing. Smart, switched on. And she's doing an admirable job of hiding how scared she really is. Her voice drops to a conspiratorial whisper.
Are you really a smuggler? Really a smuggler?
Depends who's asking.
Well, I am silly. How does one become a smuggler anyways?
Usually not by choice.
Wowzers.
Uh-huh. My car's this way. Come on. I get an itchy feeling, like we're being watched. This whole thing has me off kilter, like walking into a room without turning on the lights. Bet these platforms don't see many folks from the lowers. We step into my ride. I twist the ignition, and we set off. I catch the girl scanning the interior, her eyes taking everything in. So, where am I dropping you off? The lowers is pretty big.
Oh, anywhere, really. I'm sure I'll find my way where I need to.
There's only sincerity in that voice. Mr. Blanc wasn't kidding. This really is a babysitting job.
Ooh, what's that button do?
Yeah, don't press that.
Ah, so it must be some type of modification. I bet it's a supercharger. They always have those in the comics. Oh, I know. It's an ejector seat. Wait, it's not for the passenger side, is it?
She's not even really talking to me. Her motor mouth is just spinning out of control. I've gotta learn what the hell's going on with this easy transport. So, first time in the lowers, huh? Doing some sightseeing?
I'd rather not talk about it.
The kid glances away and grips the case tighter. This line of questioning isn't going anywhere. So, you and Mr. Blanc are old friends? The girl gives me a confused look, like I was using a jar of rotten eggs as face cream.
No, he helped me out of a difficult situation. He's a very kind man, you know. Quite like him, though I think he smokes too much.
Kind? I've never heard it put that way.
He talked about you before you showed up. I think he likes you. Said you had grit, that I could trust you. Not much else, though. After that, he just smoked and smoked. Dirty habit, don't you think?
I can't tell if she's being serious. Miss Sunshine doesn't seem like the type to lie, but getting Mr. Blanc to share personal details wasn't a scenario I could see playing out. Look, Dr. Nellie the Whiz Kid. You're cute, but you're not half as clever as you think you are. I got you figured out. She grins. If this is all just a game to her, at least she's enjoying it.
All right then, Miss Gia, the dangerous smuggler. What is it you figured out exactly?
Those scars on your fingertips. They're faint, but whatever caused them wasn't ordinary Aether. And it sure wasn't theoretical.
Theoretical scientists can work with their hands. That doesn't prove anything. And these?
She holds up a hand defiantly, partially hiding the other. Burn scars, barely noticeable in the light, are scattered across her fingers like some exotic leopard pelt.
Perfectly ordinary Aether burns from perfectly normal blue Aether.
It's how she says the word blue that bothers me. Something I can't place. This girl has secrets. And if she's been working on some fancy Aether tech in the Heights, those secrets are the kind that can kill. While we're talking, my eyes keep getting pulled to the rear view like it's a magnet. I can't shake the feeling we're not alone. I juke down a couple service paths and hop across an access junction. Sure enough, when we pop back onto street level, the same dark shape is lurking behind us. Hang on to something, kid. This might get bumpy. I pop open the hidden compartment under the dash and point to it. The girl catches on almost instantly, and there's only a moment of hesitation before she shoves her briefcase inside. catch a glimpse of the man tailing us. He's got the easy posture and the liquid metal smile of a seasoned killer. In the rear view, his eyes burn like ice above a jagged scar.
No! How did he find me?
Who?
Time you came home, darling.
Nellie? Who is that?
Looks like you found a little tour guide, Eleanor. Got no quarrel with you, smuggler. Pull over, and you can drive away clean.
We can't, Gia. Please, we can't!
Don't worry, kid. Just keep your head down. This will be over soon.
Great balls of fire! My transmission!
I catch a glimpse of the man.
No!
Who?
Time you came home.
Nellie?
Looks like got no quarrel with you.
We can't, Gia. Please.
Don't worry, kid.
It doesn't have to go like this. Give it up!
Another notch on the dash.
We did it, Gia! He's gone!
That was too easy. We need to get off this island. Now.
Stop! All vehicles leaving Astoria Bay require an exit permit.
I got my papers. Verified this morning by...
All exit permits from before noon today are considered void. You'll have to acquire a new permit inside the terminal.
Look, maybe there is some other arrangement we can reach. I flash a clip of greenbacks underneath my outstretched expired permit. The guard looks unimpressed. Damn upper snobs, too good for money.
Ma'am, that might fly where you're from, but not up here. You'll have to get a permit like everyone else. Now move.
He waves me on, and I drive towards an open spot near the entrance of the terminal. People mill about, laughing in the sun, but something's off. The world feels grainy and sluggish, like I'm wading through sand. I need to keep the girl close. There's not a dark cloud in the sky or a black hat in the crowd, but my shoulders remain tense. We're killing time in a sea of hard limbs, well-used pocket watches, and dull chatter, waiting for a permit. Bureaucracy moves slow in the uppers without the right type of love to grease the wheels.
Gia? Are you sure we can't take my briefcase? It's very important.
Better off out of sight than getting swiped in a pickpocket's hunting ground. See that? I nod and put a spotlight on an act I've played myself. A gal trips into a gentleman. The gentleman goes to help her. And the bag he's briefly forgotten about glides away in the hands of her partner.
Jeepers! Oh, that poor man. We should
do nothing. Right now, we keep our heads down and avoid bringing attention to ourselves.
Oh.
Look, no one's prying my stash open, and I've got an eye on the car. Besides, we'll be back in the Chimera in no time.
Right. What's the phrase? Staying low. I'm just worried because... Oh, Gia, look! Cotton clouds! Oh, I haven't had uppers candy in years.
The girl runs off, leaving me to idle in line. She's like a bird from a cage. Bright eyes sparkle as she flits at every vendor between her and the cotton cloud stand. The vendor sculpts pink and blue clouds for passengers in search of a sweet souvenir. Nellie looks ready to buy out the whole stand. The speakers call out names with far more cheer than they deserved. Dreamland, Nation's Crusade, and so on. None were ours. The girl seems determined to stay obvious. We've still got time before the ferry leaves, but I growl as I give up my spot in line and beat feet after her. The girl's busy drilling the vendor about sugar to syrup ratios. I throw a look and she focuses on picking out a flavor. A stick of cotton later, I heard her back in line. Unfortunately, it hasn't moved. I let her get in a few sweet bites before I feed her something bitter. What did that scarred-up black hat want with you? Her face falls mid-bite. The pink cloud sags like a lead balloon.
I've thought of at least 5 different ways to explain it, but it's complicated. Usually I'd ask someone for advice, but he's not here.
You knew who that was. You'd seen him before. Who is he?
I don't know.
That wasn't your average tracker. He was big time. Someone you hire when there's no room for error. Someone with deep pockets is after you. And that black hat's not going to give up till he's finished the job. The girl's whole body gives up with a single deep breath. She seems almost relieved to spill the beans.
He's the reason I ran. I saw him at Olympus Park. I saw what he did.
And I'm guessing he didn't want any witnesses.
Gia, I don't know what he's going to do.
Nothing is what. Not while you're with me. She perks up at the small glint of hope, and I give her a half-hearted smile. It's one thing to deal with a tracker, but if this guy is a hired killer too, I need to be more careful. Look, kid, I got shot at for you. I was told to expect a simple transport, and now I'm stuck looking over my shoulder. You owe me a whole lot more than it's complicated. What's in the case?
I'm sorry. You're right. And I'm sorry you got shot at. It's my research. It's very important, but I don't know why anyone else would want it.
I give her a side eye. I need the whole picture, but all I'm getting is an unfinished canvas.
It's the well.
What about it? So a bodega sign falls off and disappears every now and then. Neighborhood's already coming to pieces anyhow.
It's expanding. Getting bigger. Stronger. It's going to get bad, Gia. Really bad.
You're pulling my leg.
No! I swear, Gia! The car!
Minutes. I'd only taken my eyes off the car for a few damn minutes. Time stops long enough for me to catch the tail end. The glare of green lights, the lift of red-white metal, and the blur of a black hat. They took my car.
Gia! My research was in the car. What are we going to do?
We're going, now. Ferry's here. I know a place we can hide on board, but we gotta move.
But...
No buts, kid. Move. If they've got the car, we've got to assume they're on our tail. We stick to the plan, get to the lowers, and hole up somewhere safe. After that, we're gonna figure out how you're getting my car back. The hull is a barrenless refuge, rotting and hidden in a forgotten corner of the city. It offers sanctuary to every soul who finds freedom at the end of a gun or the bottom of a bottle. It is the safety of the shadows.
Oh, is this your hideout, Gia? It's like a pirate's cove or a raider's den.
More like a sinkhole. Watch your step, kid. You'll sooner run into a back alley mugger than a swashbuckler out here.
So, what's next? We need to formulate a strategy.
My place. I need a drink. And you need to finish explaining what the hell got my car stolen.
Good day.
You enjoy captaining a ferry?
It's my job.
Come on. Nobody does what you do for as long as you have if they don't love it. Right? The old man's eyes are roomy with time and pain, and a loneliness like the open sky.
Sure, miss. It's a wonder an old swab like me ever got to fly.
So, what's your story anyways?
Miss?
Like, were you born here? How'd you get into the ferry game?
No. My family come from Maine. Fishermen. That's how I learned to pilot a tug.
And what brought you to New York? Throg winces, like his gammy leg is giving him pain. Or like I dredged something up from some dark depths. Something he didn't want to remember.
Ah, well, that would be Ella May, my wife.
You salty old dog. I didn't know you were married. I'm just having fun with the old boatman, just trying to raise a smile on that dour leather mid of a face. But I can see I've wounded him, and I feel a twist of guilt.
Long time ago, miss. A real long time.
While the Joneses have their gilded wallpaper, all I have is a head full of some days. Unfortunately, dreams don't provide much of a view when your eyes are open. Finally, the first drop of real sunshine all day. I still have that new edition of BAM to read. Later. Zio always told me to have a way out. This old greenhouse has plenty of windows that offer that very service. Would hate to break one on a quick getaway, though. New York City's bigger than the world that holds it. A single filing cabinet couldn't contain it all, but I always found a way to keep it stocked with everything I need. I can last one more day. What would you do, Zio? Say job's over, cut the kid loose and run? Would definitely save me from a headache. The way she holds herself is too bright for my apartment, too colorful. Everything feels smaller, the space between the shrinking walls taken up by her testimony.
I've been tracking growth patterns around gravitational anomalies. The well's always been an unusual case. It goes through the occasional spike and ebb, but it's always stabilized, eventually. My colleagues and I, were supposed to meet and discuss what to do about the well, but I was late. I would have been inside already if it hadn't been for Professor Gardner. He discovered something was wrong first. He tried to get me away, and because of me,
She trembles, leaving the unspoken sound of a falling body to echo off the walls.
There was an explosion. Everything burned so fast. I wanted to help, but Professor Gardner wasn't moving. That's when I saw him. The black hat. And then he saw me. I ran as fast as I could. Didn't have time to take anything else but the notes I had on me.
That's a hell of a story. So a professional killer snuck into the Heights and blew up a building just to get his mitts on you and your research. And you have no idea why.
I truly don't. Please, you have to believe me.
Your colleagues. Tell me about them.
They were brilliant scientists, Gia. All of them. And bright and hopeful. Together, we were going to discover a better world. Find the answers to...
She holds back the grief by roaming the room with her eyes, latching onto every detail and yet ignoring every bit of it.
And they were kind. Alistair, Professor Gardner, especially. He always looked out for me. Even when I first showed up. A 16-year-old with a half-packed suitcase and too many questions. He always tried to help. Right to the end.
Your kind have been coming down here for years. They do some tests, make a big spectacle of themselves, and conclude that it's mostly harmless. Nothing more than clouds or a bad storm.
That's the thing! It should be nothing more than a cloud or a storm. For crying out loud, it's not Jupiter's red spot. Something is causing it to persist and expand.
It was just a pause, a moment where I hold back a lifetime of cynicism and disappointment. But she hears it like I'm filling the room with air raid sirens.
You live in a flying city, Gia. A city kept alive with technology so foreign 80 years ago that we'd be like gods to our grandparents. It's solvable.
You're in the lowers, as requested and paid for. What were you planning once you got here?
First, I thought I'd have to find a place to live, of course. I have some money,
The girl goes paler than the moon in a crystal bath. A moment of clarity and a possible lifetime of hopelessness.
It was in my case. All of it. I have nothing.
She looks up at me, eyes suddenly welling into baby blue pools that flood the dwindling room.
I don't have anyone I can ask for a loan. Everyone's... They're dead. All of them. He killed them. And now he's followed me here. He won't stop, will he? He's going to find me again. and I won't be able to fix the well, and...
You've got me protecting you, Nellie. He isn't going to lay a hand on you. I'll talk to someone who could help, but I need you to focus. Those goons stole my car and your briefcase, and right now, you might be the only real lead I have.
What can I do? I told you everything I know.
Not everything. I don't get it. You're from Olympus Park. You got money. And you just leave without talking to anyone?
I needed to disappear quickly. Apparently, I'm not all that good at it. I didn't have time to pack. I took the first ferry I could find, and it left me in Astoria Bay. Fortunately, when I told a very nice officer I needed to get to the lowers, he referred me to Mr. Blanc.
Knowing Mr. Blanc, that referral didn't happen by chance. He's got eyes in every dark corner of the city. If a bird from the heights flew down on an air of mystery, he'd want to know why. He called you by your name. We're looking at someone who's done his research, or someone who's got something personal on you. Got any enemies up there?
No!
You sure? You didn't piss off some other brainiac with a better showing at the science fair?
No.
You running from family? Some bigwig who made a pass at you? Jilted husband?
I'm not. I've never been married. I don't have the time or the interest. But even if I did, I haven't had any gentleman callers, or really met any gentlemen. Aside from Professor Gardner, of course, but he doesn't count. Not in that way.
This Professor Gardner's come up a few times. Who is he?
Oh! Professor Gardner, Alistair Gardner, was one of the first people recruited to the Helicline Institute. He's one of their spokesmen, too. He even oversaw my application. The other adjudicators were reluctant. Everyone else was so much more senior, and older, too. But Alistair fought for me. He called my skills and my desire for a better world a brilliant ambition. He helped look after me during my stay at Olympus Park. It helps that he supervised the lab that I worked in.
Something doesn't add up. Most of us will never see the heights, let alone Olympus Park. How'd someone like him get inside?
I don't know. Must have broken in. Or stolen access? Disguised himself, maybe? But you can't just stroll through. I had to go through an extensive vetting process to even be allowed to visit.
So he's found you twice. Once in the heights, and then again after hiding with Mr. Blanc. He'll probably track you down here, too.
You think?
She starts to retreat back into her shell. Damn it. I was just getting somewhere. If I'm going to get anything useful out of this, I gotta give her something to latch onto. Hey, look at me. This chump isn't getting away with this. I'm going to take care of him. Going to get my car and your briefcase back.
Really?
It's a matter of personal and professional pride. I don't like when people mess with what's mine. Just stay here and don't touch anything. I'll be back soon.
Wait! I'm going with you.
And why should I do that? You're a doe in headlights most of the time.
Well, for a lot of reasons, actually. For starters, I'm excellent company. I'm also smart and amazing at aethonics. I'm sure that could really come in handy out there. But if not, well, let's be honest with each other. I need you to find that man. He has my briefcase. You need your car back, and you can do that by finding him. If he's following me, then that's good news. The best way for you to find him is for him to find me. Us.
Foolhardy or brave, like going all in before the flop in a high-stakes hold'em round. I'll give the kid this much. She's earnest to a fault. Okay, but first I need to see a gal about a car. Until I'm back, stay put. Cress is already gonna be in a bad enough mood when she hears about the car. She doesn't need me ambushing her with this bundle of trouble too. Cress Carter is the only person in the hole who could sell me something with 4 repulsors and a steering wheel. Only one issue. I'm broke. Fortunately, I have something more valuable to her than a wad of cash. If there's anything that can soften bad news and a steep ask from Cress, it's a fresh record with a smooth baritone. I second guess leaving the girl idle in my room. She's the curious kind that could find trouble with her eyes closed and feet tied. I don't live like royalty, but I got a few shabby creature comforts around. Maybe it's enough to keep the girl's hands busy. Try one of these. Cloud Captain never fails to cheer me up.
Oh, thanks, Gia.
She starts to flip through the pages as I leave, her eyes landing longer on the page with Cloud Captain's devilish smile. She works tirelessly on that arm of hers, obsessing over it, making sure that it's not useless. Sometimes I wonder if she's talking about herself more than her arm. Cress? The Hole doesn't ask much of its residents. Stay quiet, don't draw attention, find comfort in the dark. Despite growing up an Aether in the Undercity, Cress Carter refused to abide. From behind a junker made more of rust than steel, two faintly glowing points rise. Cress appears, pale, milky eyes already wary and fixed to joust.
Where's my baby, 8-Shot?
The low, angry rumble of the island's Aether generators shake the floor in protest of their nature-defying feat. I hope it stifles the sound of my pulse. This is news I don't want to break. I distinctly remember buying it from an Italian rug salesman and his well-armed mother. And you, where were you?
Yeah, don't remind me.
I think you were, what's the word, stuck, wedged, down the wrong chimney to the wrong back room. I still have the scars, from when the shooting started.
Okay. But answer this. Just who fixes that thing every time you add new holes? Who ripped out that trash stock engine and gave you something that actually works? Who made it?
All right. Our baby, then. Yeah, about that. Is that a combustion engine you're working on? It's practically an antique.
Mr. Thompson's been holding on to this thing since he first moved here. Left her to me when he passed. She's not much now, but a few more tons of elbow grease, and she'll sing.
She stretches her prosthetic arm and tilts her head, analyzing the jagged edges of this car-shaped hunk of rust like puzzle pieces she can rearrange and solve. She's distracted, mind somewhere free and happy, when I bring her back down. Cress, I got some bad news. The car's gone. I let my guard down.
You lost it? You here then to beg for your life?
I need help getting it back. An iceberg lugged 3,000 miles from the North Pole and thrown in the corner wouldn't have made this room any colder. Cress, Look, I don't come empty-handed. Here, found this on one of my jobs.
You think you can bribe me with a Coleman Hawkins? Damn. Okay, I'm listening.
She's still out there. My guess is White Street. The thief was after something in a hidden compartment, and they won't get it open without help. White Street will take apart anything if they get to keep the parts.
I'm listening for an apology, Gia. That wasn't just your car. It was hours, days of my blood, sweat, and tears to make it work.
You think I don't feel bad enough as is? I'm sorry, Cress. It's this job I'm on. This client, some hotshot's after her. Same punk who took the car.
Apology accepted. If you get our baby back. Now, this job. I thought you were taking things easy still. Honestly, surprised you found work at all. It's only been a year since your uncle died. How you
Work's dried up. Even the easy jobs that no one wants. What I can get is barely enough to get by.
Have you considered calling in that favor Needles owes you? He's working in White Street now. Pretty sure he could get you a job if you need it. Here, he's been busy lately.
Needles? I'm not talking to that prick, not in 100 years. Not sure who would shoot first if we saw each other again. No, Cress, not him. Wait, are you keeping tabs on him?
You're not the only smuggler that's good at what they do. He's also one of the few who still runs in White Street. Aether over there don't have many options, especially with that tyrant and his constant wars.
War in White Street wasn't new, and it wasn't worth the small talk, or the bad memories that come with it. It's this client. There's something off about her.
Off? How?
Can't place it yet. Too many questions. Doesn't help that she's from the Heights.
Well, there's your problem. Anyone who lives that high up has a screw loose. Not enough oxygen. Shouldn't trust any of those airheads.
I might have to if I want to get my car back.
Be careful out there, Gia.
Not right now, Cress. I just want to stay focused, find my car. I bet by now she's in the hands of some White Street chop shop. I need your help, Cress.
2 favors, then. A car, and I assume a lead in White Street.
Her eyes go distant. She never told me who she lost when White Street's Baron executed his last purge, but she disappeared for a week afterwards. When she finally returned, someone else walked around in Cress's leather shoes. She pulls out a pencil, scribbling a symbol on an old stale coffee filter plucked from the ground.
North White Street Harbor, Pier 9. Say I sent you. You'll find some Aetherians who can help. Maybe. As for the car, got a lemon out back. Not much, but it's a start. Bring it around, and maybe I can get it working. Take these repair kits too, in case you get in a scrap.
Thanks, Cress.
Yeah. Also, Gia, don't be an ass. I'll hear about it.
Some people laugh when adults are afraid of the dark. From what Cress has gone through, I'd be more worried if she wasn't. I find the kid where I left her, several pages deep into the adventures of Cloud Captain.
Gia, how did the meeting go? Smoothly, I hope. Did you have to do a wheel and deal?
Worked something out. Anyway, reading break's over. Let's head out.
Already?
We need to move fast if we even want a chance of finding my car and your briefcase in one piece. Best bet? We start with White Street.
Why there? Is it a smuggler thing?
It's a hunch. White Street's whole business is sanitation and recycling. You need something disposed of on the down low? That's where you go. I don't believe in vengeful spirits. If they existed, White Street would have been torn from the sky in retribution for its decades of war. Instead, it stays floating to spite the dead, a withered shell of its former glory. Nellie, I want you to watch me and stay close.
Why? Is something wrong?
Where would I find the time, kid? Or the heart to fill your head with graves of ash, islands on fire in the night, the thunder of war in the skies? That was years ago. But not yet.
Halt! The roads are closed until the demonstration is over. Exit your vehicle and line up for the parade.
Oh, yeah, a parade! Let's go.
If you do not comply, you will be arrested.
Fine. I needed to stretch my legs anyhow. Like a dove on an updraft, the girl flutters off as soon as her heels hit the street. Hey, I said stay close!
Wowzers. I haven't been to one of these since I was young. Father took me to several, but those weren't as, serious. Where are the floats? The clowns? They're just soldiers. Are all parades in the lowers like this?
Just like this? No. Each Baron has their own flavor of showboating to distract from how bleak life is down here. White Street's just eager to march and flash their guns around.
Something big must be going on. Do you know what's happening?
I'm not sure what this is. White Street has been bleeding territory, money, and men for over a decade in its wars with the surrounding barons. This should be a funeral march, not a celebration. Through a hail of ticker tape, I swerve past a waving arm to get a better look at the line of soldiers. Spotless uniforms, polished guns, a show of strength that White Street hasn't been able to afford in years. When did they fill their war chest? Hey, pal, what's the occasion?
The General's unveiling his new machine. Soldiers say it's going to save the lowers.
Save the lowers? Going to take more than some new weapon to do that.
Shh! You want to get us thrown in the tomb? Smile and wave.
He applies more plaster to his smile. I glance around. He's not the only face in the crowd straining to keep the corners of their mouth upright. The cries of support echo emptily. The banners flow without enthusiasm. Like stone pushed through a sieve, the crowd forces out cheers for a devil clad in white.
Is that the Baron of White Street? He must be really popular.
That's Eli Tillingast. Calls himself the General. They cheer because if they don't...
Burn the tyrants!
One hot blast of light was all it took to disappear a crowd, stunning onlookers like a twisted magic trick. Instead of applause, cries of panic and a stampede of feet clap the pavement, while a putrid smell fills the air. My gut twists as it fights every reckless impulse to run. A few onlookers run from the scene. My feet are 2 steps after them before my senses yank me by the shoulders. Eli Tillingast doesn't tolerate desertion from anyone. The crowd seconds from dissolving into a frenzied swarm. If I don't grab the kid and move, we're going to get trampled flat. However, we're saved by an unlikely savior.
Hold!
The Baron of White Street stands, gloved hand extended. Despite fear and panic, the crowd obeys, frozen in place by a gentle, assuring gesture.
Let the procession continue.
The music starts back up, and the world moves on Eli's command. Coerced cheers rush to fill terrified silence, while marching boots blot out the scorched earth.
The days where White Street bled tirelessly to save a debaucherous world have come to an end. We will bleed no longer. Our enemies will tremble for a weapon they cannot resist, a weapon they cannot overcome. We will demand our rightful place in the sun and rid the shadow of chaos from the lowers. We are just. We are strong. We are unsullied.
He pumps his fist and the crowd answers with a deafening cheer. With all eyes back on the general and his grisly procession, I look for Nellie. The war banners of White Street once flew over much of the lowers. I dread the day it happens again. These barons are no different than dictators of small countries, playing dress-up and throwing their armies around like toy soldiers on the playground. Destruction like that. With weapons like these, they could reclaim everything they've lost, dragging the whole damn city back into war. God help us. Despite the carnage, the crowd's feet remain glued in place. They cheer harder, more desperate, refusing to tempt fate and its devastating new weapon. It's only a second, but I spot a glint of metal in the curve of a black brim that resembles a scarred-up bastard. I go for my gun, but he disappears like campfire smoke in the night. Did he spot us? Or am I jumping at ghosts? I scan the whole street. Nothing. Not a hint of the black hat or my car. I decide not to mention it to the kid. After what happened, I'm jumpy enough for the both of us.
No! That weapon, Red Aether, wasn't to ever... Oh, Gia, those people. Those poor people.
You recognize it? What the hell was that thing, Nellie?
It was never supposed to get out. Never. How did it get out? How?
She buries herself in her hands, breathing hard, wishing with every strained muscle that this nightmare would end. A part of me wants to join her.
I can't stay here, Gia. We have to go.
We can't. Not without attracting serious attention. You saw what happened. If we get caught sneaking out, we'll get shot.
Gia, please.
The kid's bloodless face moves me to glance down the procession line. The tail end's in sight, but the miserable sound from the girl has me second-guessing how long her nerves will hold. Nellie, look at me. Talk to me. Just tell me what that was.
That weapon used Red Aether, Gia. A highly volatile, highly experimental version of Aether. It's very powerful, but also very unstable. But Red Aether wasn't supposed to...
With nothing more than an empty expression, the kid clams up tighter than a 10-inch steel vise. We have to wait the parade out. Hold on just a while longer.
I understand.
The sound of lockstep boots thumping asphalt finally fades into the corpse-stained wind, and the crowd, released from their mandated joy, finally begins to disperse. Silence finds its way back into the world. All at once, the poor kid's nerves crumble like a paper cup, spilling her insides all over the now vacant street. Take it easy, kid. Slow breaths, all right?
Let's get out of here. Now, please.
Yeah, we're done. Enough distance passes that ash and screams and a bright, hot light start fading into a bad memory. Nellie breaks the silence.
Is White Street always this... awful?
Often enough. White Street's never shied away from putting down opposition with violence. Never heard of them using a weapon like that, though.
But those were their people. He's supposed to be the Baron. Isn't he supposed to listen to their concerns? What about due process?
Look, kid. It might work that way upstairs, but not here. The only word that matters down here is the Barons, and in White Street, the chain of command's everything. If Eli says we're going to war, you either fall in line, or you're an enemy.
One might have been bad, but the others were simply calling for peace. Where's the harm in that?
White Street tried the whole peace thing a few years ago. Someone blew them to bits during peace talks. That's not something they'll ever forget. It's around here somewhere, hidden. What was that symbol?
Are we really going into the Undercity? Will the Aether rats let us, or are the stories true? You don't think they'll throw us off the island, do you?
Which stories we talking about?
Well, the ones in the papers? I've never met an Aether rat, so I honestly don't know how much of it is true or not. However, they're supposed to be benevolent, aren't they? They keep our islands in the sky, and in exchange, they get the Undercity, but everyone knows that. I've heard they generally keep to themselves. Except when outsiders sneak into their tunnels. Also, their eyes all turn into a unique shade of pale blue. They glow, too, from what I've read. Like Aether. There are journals that theorize why, but nothing concrete. Or always wasn't.
Madonna. The kid's understanding is as accurate as a stained mirror. Better clear things up before we go in. Look, you can't rely on the stories you read in the papers. You want to avoid getting grounded? Don't call them Aether rats. They're Aetheniers, and they're good people. I'm guessing you've never met one?
No. There were rules. We weren't really supposed to interact with them. Or see them.
They don't want to be seen down here either. Too many people can't stand the idea that an island floats or sinks on the whim of an Aethenier. Figure a good rat is a scared rat.
They've done it before, haven't they? I've read of islands crashing because of Aether repulsor failure that could only be possible by sabotage.
And blow themselves up out of spite? No island falls without a Baron behind it and a list of dead Aetheniers trying to stop it. The world down here isn't one you'll find in your books. Keep that in mind. Now, where's that door? Among the fleet of crates, I spy one out of step. Whoever had nailed this one shut had done a hack job, leaving behind a wobbly lid and a crack just big enough for a finger. I stick my finger through the hole, angling past jagged slivers and crooked nails until I find a solid grip. I pull, fighting the groaning, shuddering lid. It gives up with a pop. Careful strokes of paint form an innocuous symbol of a rat paw matching the sketch Cress gave me. This is the right place.
Shopping for trouble? Or just sightseeing real close?
Jeepers! Gia?
A pauper. One of the murderous specters slithering freely through every pipe, waiting to brutalize passers-by. If you listen to the stories. Scary as he is, he's more sentinel than specter. Looking for you, actually. We're friends of Cress Carter. She sent us to ask about a missing car.
Cress. Cress Carter?
Strange. Cress's name should mean something. Either he's greener than he looks or he doesn't trust my word. I might need something to loosen his tongue. Name's Gia Randazzo. Who are you if you don't know Cress Carter?
Maybe I know her. Don't know you. Neither of you.
Well, if what you need is an introduction, my name is Dr. Eleanor Reinhardt. Pleased to meet you.
Don't shake hands with strangers, let alone topsiders.
He threatens to disappear back into the shadows and leave us without a way in. But then he pauses.
Doctor? What type of doctor?
Oh, theoretical aethonics. Now, I don't have the experience one of you Aethoniers have with the practical side, but I do know my way around an Aether core. I was actually hoping I could find out a little more about maintenance techniques down here.
You know anything about hydraulic engineering?
No, but I'm a quick study.
You're having a problem with your water supply?
War's changed priorities for the Undercity. Water's being rerouted, and there's not enough of the good stuff to go around.
Is it a filtration issue? Something pressure-related? Or does it have to do with the temperature regulation?
Don't know. Sounds like you might know a thing or two, though.
The pauper sinks deep into thought. We might as well be having a conversation with a statue.
Friends with Cress Carter, huh? All right.
The armed shadow stares blankly towards us, his pale blue glass eyes casting unknown intent at me and the kid before pounding the space behind him.
And watch yourself.
He melts back into the industrial decay behind him, never once taking his eyes off us. His disembodied voice echoing out one last time.
Or you'll see us again real soon.
Every darkened cranny becomes a potential peephole while we stand there. Like walking to confession blindfolded in a packed cathedral. I can feel hundreds of unseen eyes watching, waiting for a single misstep.
He gave me the heebie-jeebies. Do you think he...
She's interrupted by a gush of stale air riding the echoes of countless thumping Aether machines.
Topsiders? Why are you here? Hurry, out with it, we're busy.
Lexi, shh. If Harold let them through.
Harold's been wrong before.
Hello, I'm Maria. This is my husband, Alexander.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Nellie. This is Gia. We're not here to bother you while you work on... Oh, is that part of an Aether substructure power converter? I've always wondered about the older infrastructure.
Nellie, that's not why we're...
Right. Gia's friend, Cress, she's an Aethonier also. She sent us here because we need your help to find this car of ours that has some important stuff hidden away inside.
Too desperate, too vulnerable. I lob a cough towards Nellie, hoping she'd quit her rambling so I could get a word in.
Cress sent you? That girl. Fine, let's hear it.
You and Cress close?
We're Aetherites. We're all related. One big happy family.
Lexi, don't be an ass. They're Cress's friends. At least be nice for her sake.
She's running around with all these topsiders causing trouble. And now she risks the three of us. She should know better.
It's a subtle movement. Alexander sends an involuntary glance towards Maria's abdomen before matching my eyes. I couldn't be sure if he was angrier that I caught him, or that he slipped something so personal. These tunnels...
They're so big! Where did they go? Everywhere? Can you get to any part of the island from here? Have you ever gotten lost?
I've known too many smugglers who've disappeared trying to find their way through Aether rat tunnels. Success promises an unseen and untraceable smuggling route. Failure costs you your life.
No. Aetherites don't get lost. We can smell our way through miles of...
Lexi, would you cut that out, please? It's an innocent enough question.
This tunnel can get you through most of the barony, if you know where you are going. But don't try it. You'll end up stuck in the dark or taking a one-way trip to old New York.
A 35 Chimera, dumped recently. Have you seen anything? Alexander breaks his scowl with an impish eye and a cracked smile. He knows exactly what we want, and he is going to wring us dry for it.
Maybe. We'll need something in return, though. Harold says you know hydraulic engineering. Is this true? Can you create substitute filtration parts?
With the right equipment and a blueprint, maybe? I don't have any on hand, though. I'd also need time to formulate possible solutions.
Maybes are not enough. We need working parts, now. Eli's new war means that all non-essential requisitions are delayed. That includes water filtration equipment for the Undercity. Now, our water is becoming Aether-tainted.
We can't afford any more of us getting sick. Eli's terriers are already forcing longer and longer shifts to compensate for the fewer numbers.
That's terrible. Of course we'll help. We'll get you everything you need. How do we...
Hang on a sec. Before we agree to anything, I need to know what we're getting into. How much is this info going to cost me?
Water filtration parts, new ones. 1 or 2 crates should do the trick. The more the better.
Aethoniers should have priority. But Eli's leaving you without water?
Should be, but the Barony's quartermaster says the war means less for us and more for the army.
He's a good man at heart. We have leeway with him, more than with the other officers, but...
Natsuko's a soldier, not a man. He's choked us from the supplies we need for years. Now, with the war, he has every excuse to squeeze tighter.
How'd any part of White Street lose out on clean water? I thought that's all Eli cared about, aside from his wars.
Our water is kept separate from the rest of the Barony's supply. That way, terriers can reward us with clean water if we run low.
With our own supply of fresh water becoming smaller, we have to use water tainted by Aether use. Or find ways to make the terriers give us extra.
Why would Eli risk the lives of his Aethoniers? You keep his islands afloat. If you all start falling sick, his islands are going to start dropping too.
We've asked his terriers the same question. All we get back is, get back to work.
You'll have those parts. But I'll want to know where my car is as soon as we're back.
You have a deal. Thank you.
Don't trust the quartermaster. And watch yourself around the scrapyard. It's a dangerous place. Gia.
The man leans forward, grabbing my arm and pulling me in close out of earshot of his wife.
Do not bring any heat back here. If you risk the safety of my family, then you can consider your car lost for good. Here. This address used to house a friend of the rats. It's empty now. Use it to lie low if you can't help yourself from getting into trouble.
Alex releases his stone grip and a slip of paper into my hand. Nellie takes his quick, hushed intercession as a desperate request for success.
We'll get everything you need. I promise.
Poor kid. She has no idea. We're stopped at a checkpoint manned by White Street officers whose sneers are tighter than their uniforms. I get the feeling these are no shift-clocking schlubs. All whitecaps stink like rotten pork, but these ones seem to be wrapped in fancier dumplings.
Who are they?
If I had to guess, White Street Intelligence. General Eli's secret police.
Oh boy.
You said it. Just keep cool. After a moment of tense quiet, they wave us through.
All right, move along.
Apparently, we're not the particular field mice these hawks are hunting for, and I'm not about to give them a second chance to swoop. As we burn Aether and leave them behind, I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding.
Whew. I hope that won't be a problem on the way back.
If the lifeblood of White Street is industrial refuse, then the scrapyard is its beating heart. From his steel parapet overlooking the yard, the quartermaster governs this realm of rubble with determination. The main lot is in constant noisy motion, a cacophony of combustion engines and sparking steel. When you look past the grime, it's a place of ferocious efficiency and discipline. The massive cargo elevator locals call the Beanstalk is one of the last remnants of pre-Aether tech, relying on grit, machinery, and braided steel to plunder the refuse of the old world. I spot a crate of water filter parts inside the quartermaster's office. Can't lift him while he's standing there, though. Like his scrapyard, the quartermaster's in a perpetual state of activity. Maybe a nice turkey club once in a while might have resulted in fewer gray hairs for the old soldier. Not while he's here. The quartermaster is a decorated veteran and displays his war memorabilia with pride. Strikes me as odd. From what I've heard about the Philippines, wouldn't you want to forget? The quartermaster would have a friendly, likable face if it wasn't lined with the stress and fatigue of a lifetime of devotion to Eli. It's clear as we approach he's neglecting 7 other things by talking to us. Sergeant Major Let's-Go. I'm Gia Rendazzo, and this is Nellie.
Pleasure, girls. Sorry about the state of things around here. I don't often host such fine company. What brings you to the scrapyard?
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. You see, we're looking for...
Just a few minutes of your time, then we'll get out of your hair. Sir, how do you get along with the Aethoniers in White Street?
They keep to their own, mostly. That's fine by me. Why?
Well, they're not getting the supplies they need to survive, you see.
And you're what? They're lawyers or something?
His eyelid twitches. He's getting impatient already. So I take it you served with General Tillinghast, is that right? Where were you posted?
Yeah, the Philippines. Tough tour. Wouldn't have made it without the General. Saved my sorry hide more times than I care to count. Ah, but you don't want to hear about all that.
I think you must have been very brave to do what you did. And it's plain to see you and the General are very close. He's lucky to have you around, I think.
You're sweet as a Georgia peach, ain't you? Thanks, Missy. He's an extraordinary man. A real visionary, you know?
And what's he envisioning for White Street exactly?
The General's been beating back the Huns at our gates for as long as anyone can remember. You mark my words, ladies. These islands will never fall. And one day they'll be shinier than the heights.
Stars fill the old soldier's eyes, a proud stiffness rejuvenating his weary frame. Talking about his boss transforms him into a younger and more zealous figure. It's almost tender, in a strange, skin-crawling kind of way. You deal with a lot of lawyer types?
There are Aethonier lawyers? Do they go to law school? Can they go to law school? What sort of law do they practice?
The sneaky kind, sweetheart. Yes, the rats have pet snakes, and thankfully, no, we don't get a lot of them up here. They're nothing but trouble.
Oh.
Burrowed into their libraries of theirs, poring over contracts, looking for loopholes, taking advantage of the system, making a lot of red tape and wasted time for people like me.
He scowls. I decide it's best we ease off. Well, that's just what we want to avoid. Forget I said anything. Look, you Whitecaps are all about honor, right? You understand what an oath is. We made a promise to help these people, and we intend to keep it.
Where you two been hiding, huh? White Street could use a couple more women like you. Ah, hell. Look, I'm really busy. I'm gonna be in my office, stuck staring at paperwork. I assume you can show yourselves out? You follow?
It isn't permission. The old bastard would kill me if we ever ended up on opposite sides of a fight. But it's a chance. Yes, we do. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah, thanks for dropping by, ladies.
With a forced smile, he picks up a clipboard and walks off, shouting orders down at machine operators, and leaving us to look out over the yard alone. The gangway behind us squeals under a heavy step, and I turn to see a black-clad stiff trying to pass us a counterfeit smile. He puts down a half-drunk carton of milk and goose-steps into our path, ever so politely blocking our exit.
Good afternoon. Intelligence Officer Randall Pitt. And you are?
His feet are welded to the iron below, and the pins on his jacket identify him as one of the highest-ranking hogs in the White Street pen. There's no moving this one unless he wants to move. Gia Randazzo, and this is my sister, Nell.
A pleasure, madams. And what, may I ask, is the purpose of your meeting with Quartermaster Lutzko today?
What's it to you, Mac? The officer's eyes flick upward, scanning my face with the practiced arrogance of a bully who's never had to throw a single punch. I return his gaze with a frosted steel stare of my own.
Miss Randazzo, was it? Just a few questions and you can be on your way. No need for you to escalate things.
His reptilian eyes flick from me to Nellie, greedily drinking in her details. This one's the type to seek out power and authority purely as an excuse to start fires wherever he wants. And he's oily enough to be a hazard around any open flame. We were just hoping Lutzko could help us find something.
And what is it you're hoping to find?
Excuse me, but don't you think that's a bit personal?
Run-of-the-mill scrap. Spare parts. I got this lemon, see, and she needs a lot of love.
I see. And what is it you do for a living, exactly?
Cargo transport, mostly. Interbarony import-export.
Really? And do you enjoy it?
Oh, always. He catches the sarcasm like a maniac's shortstop and offers a wan little smile.
Anyway, listen to me prattle on. I get flustered when faced with such ravishing beauty, you see. For sisters, you don't look that much alike. Do people tell you that often?
Oh, he's loving this. Savoring every second like we're a pair of potato knish, fresh out of the oven. Which means, of course, he's about to bite.
I trust a pair of such good little New York girls would promptly report it if they were made aware of any illicit activity on the part of Sergeant Major Lutzko. Correct?
What do you mean, illicit?
Oh, you know, illegal, wrong, things that would demand a transfer of leadership here into more capable hands. Anything he shouldn't be doing.
How would I know what he should or shouldn't be doing? His smile flashes in and out of existence so quick, you could argue it never happened. In an instant, his officious familiarity vanishes.
How charming. Now, you and your sister can testify to what you know, or we can take this up with General Tillinghast. Your choice.
Doesn't take a genius to figure Lutzko's into something dirtier than his own soot-stained uniform. I share a look with Nellie, whose sparkling eyes are relying on me to navigate us out of these shark-infested waters. What's he in trouble for, anyway?
Treason, malfeasance, embezzlement. Supplies deemed vital to the war effort have disappeared, only to be found later on the black market or in the possession of degenerates.
He didn't need to specify which degenerates he was referring to. Apparently rats wasn't cruel enough.
The punishment for which is death, of course, by grounding.
Grounding? Is that...
Yeah, kid. The long drop and the sudden stop.
It's justice, my dear. Traitors pay their deficit in loyalty with blood.
I'll tell you what I don't know. Why I've never met you before. Promoted recently? A hungry look comes over him, like a fox delighted by the rabbit who dares to fight back.
I pride myself on subtlety, my dear. Nobody knows I'm around, unless I want them to.
How nice for us. He's inching closer, and his military-issue aftershave doesn't do much to mask the fetid milk stink of his breath. I maintain the distance between us. Not rude, but not too subtle either. He squints, unsmiling.
Let's get back to the topic at hand, shall we?
Look, pal, we just met the guy. Do whatever you want, it's got nothing to do with us. Now we got business to take care of, so if you don't mind... A sneer paints itself slowly across the officer's mug. If he had an angle, he'd use it. But he doesn't.
Very well. It was a distinct pleasure. Till we meet again.
Oh, thank you, officer. Goodbye!
He peels himself out of our path as slowly and painfully as an overglued bandage on a fresh wound. With a final colorless smile, He turns towards the quartermaster's office. Inside, Let's Go spots him, and the old man's Adam's apple bounces like a kid on a trampoline. The main lot is in constant noisy motion.
I don't think I like that Officer Pitt very much.
That's only because you've got working eyes and ears. Stay away from him, all right?
You don't have to tell me twice.
Still, seems to me we've got options.
We do?
Well, whether we play it the quartermaster's way, or throw him under Pitt's repulsors, you and I still come out with the parts for Alexander and Maria.
I see. But what'll happen to the scrapyard if the quartermaster's arrested by White Street Intelligence?
You never know. Let's Go seems all right, but he's not exactly running a tight ship here. With someone like Pitt in charge, the Aetherians might get more reliable supplies.
But then the restrictions imposed on them may get even worse. Boy, there aren't any easy answers in the lowers, are there?
You catch on fast for an academic.
Gia, the water filtration pieces we need, where do they originate from?
Well, White Street reuses whatever they can. Old coffee makers, radiator grills. If you can find it down in the burrows, then you pile it onto the beanstalk and it gets carted up here.
Oh, of course. Well, then it's simple, isn't it? You just go there and grab some supplies while they're in transit.
I must be giving her a real scorcher of a look, because she blushes pinker than a spring tulip. You're suggesting we raid a cargo shipment. You're suggesting we steal something?
Well, it's a solution, isn't it? I'm trying to get into the lower spirit.
The embarrassment and excitement fighting for real estate on her face have me this close to throwing an arm around her shoulders and tussling her hair. Let's go, Principessa. Like his scrapyard. Just out of reach. The massive cargo elevator. For a moment, I think I'm seeing things. Looks like a scrap pile is moving all by itself. Until I spot the dark shapes of street urchins on its surface, like flies gnawing a steak left out in the sun. Hey, seen anything around here we could use for water filtration?
I'm not sure they'll be familiar with that sort of terminology, Gia. What about...
You mean like mechanical or fancy carbon type? Ain't seen none today, but Spunky found a whole box of rubber flanges yesterday. No cracks or nothing. You want it? You gotta pay.
I'm too busy enjoying the shock on Nellie's face to notice the White Street patrol car pull around into my blind spot.
You ain't authorized to be here.
Fair's fair, kid. But if it doesn't work, I'm coming back. The urchin flashes a wide coffee brown grin as he grabs my offering and gives me the part.
It'll work. Promise.
Not what the Aetherians are looking for, but it'll come in handy.
All right, enough. All of yous clear out.
We can repair a vehicle here or buy some parts. The busted chunk of an island's underside rusts in the sun, laying precariously on a crushed tenement building. Broken detritus and snapped cabling hangs down close to the street.
Oh, this is perfect! See that? If that old Aether repulsor's not damaged, the parts could easily be repurposed for water filtration.
Once we're parked, she runs off and gets to work, untangling pieces of equipment, reaching up on her tippy toes to pull down bundles of wire. She turns back to me.
Well, start over there with the equalizer piping.
Damned if I know what equalizer piping is, but I follow her finger and start pulling at some ceramic hose. Her approving nod tells me I'm on the right track, and after a few minutes of work, she turns to me and grins. We load up our scrap and head out. There's no mistaking the throaty grumble of a scrapper rig on the prowl, all sizzling oil and sparking ozone. Many scrappers are perfectly decent people just trying to survive. I can tell without looking that ain't the case with this one.
Couple of floaters all alone, eh? Easy pickings. Hey, we staked our claim on this scrap.
Too bad. Finders keepers, pal. You all right?
Yes, I'm okay. Thank you. You grew up with those people?
A different time, kid. A different life. This is the closest to the burrows I've been in years. If I look off the edge, I might even be able to see where I was born. I keep my distance.
Gia, what's that?
She points out the passenger window at the dark shape of a scrapper clunker, its burnished surface glinting as it swoops down to intercept us. Its markings, from grease splashed like war paint across the hood to the scars and gouges of previous fights, suggest a high rank. That is who we're here to find. As the car pulls up alongside us, an even and untroubled voice squawks out at us.
Hello there. Looking for something, little bird?
He didn't open the dialogue by opening fire, so I take that as an encouraging sign. Nellie's looking at me expectantly. I better choose my words carefully as we pull over. You familiar with White Street's quartermaster?
Let's go. Sure. He's the only man who puts food on my table.
The scrapper leans out his window and proffers a folded piece of paper. I can see the quartermaster's stamp even before I grab it. It's a personal letter, promising pay for extra security for Let's Go's goods as they travel the beanstalk.
That's quite the arrangement you've got yourself. Wish my family'd been that lucky.
You from the boroughs?
Siltside, long time ago. Had to find a different way out.
Siltside? Couldn't be. Nobody comes out of there in one piece.
Who says I'm in one piece? The rolling rumble of his laugh matches the cadence of his engine. Mind if I keep this? Could come in handy.
Sure, I've got more at home. The man loves his correspondence.
How are things groundside these days? It's been a while.
Same as always.
The bitterness in his voice betrays no lie. The burrows are still the same as I left them. Hot in the daytime, freezing at night. Harsh winds carrying skin-slicing dust. Short on clean water, fresh food, and hope. Some things never change. I still hang my boots out the window at night.
You really are a Burroughs kid.
The scrapper and I share a sharp-toothed grin, and I savor the puzzled look on Nellie's face. I'm not here to steal from anybody. I'll pay for what I claim. I'm looking for water filter parts. Got any on you?
Matter of fact, I do have something that might work in a pinch.
Guess we go our separate ways then.
Fine by me. You be careful out there.
His engine roars as he peels away, and I hear Nellie exhale next to me. Intelligence officers swarm every path out of the scrapyard, their black uniforms dotting the landscape like spots on a coal-black Dalmatian.
There's so many, Gia!
There's no getting through that without staining that dress of yours. We'll have to go back to Pitt if we want out of here alive. When we pull up to the quartermaster's office, there's a troop of secret police attending Let's Go and Pitt inside. Neither one looks pleased to be sharing the same air with the other.
I suppose this is what they call the moment of truth?
You suppose right. How do you want to play it? She looks surprised, as though she didn't expect me to source an opinion. You want to learn how things work in the lowers, Doctor? There's the tough choice and the tougher choice. So choose.
Well, as I said, I'm not exactly well-versed in White Street military politics, and I've only gathered minimal data on the relevant parties so far. There are other considerations, too, like...
No, you're overthinking it. What does your gut tell you?
It tells me we should help the quartermaster. Even if times are tough for Alexander and Maria. I can't see them improving if that pitman takes control here.
She's not wrong. But she doesn't know the kind of suffering a man like Lutzko can cause, even if he means well. She's never lived a life where you can happily choose a pit, knowing at least there'll be food on your table. No easy way out. There never is. I open the door to the office, and the Whitecaps look up expectantly.
Ladies, you're back. I was just...
the Randazzo sisters. How very good to see you again.
Sorry, fellas, but we couldn't dig up anything useful. Afraid we wasted your time. Just wanted to come by and apologize before we head out. Intelligence Officer Pitt regards us as one might the brown patch on their recently chomped apple.
I see. Well, that about wraps it up then.
Then suddenly, he's all smiles, acting for all the world as though we're just finishing a convivial tea luncheon. His tone is the only thing that's pleasant about him as he leans in.
If we meet again, Miss Randazzo, our conversation won't be nearly as pleasant as today's.
He gestures to his goon squad and they tromp out. Let's Go wipes his brow. We bought the old soldier some breathing room, for all the good it'll do. But we're also on Pitt's blacklist. We'll have to watch our backs in this barony from now on. Once Pitt and his pal are gone, Let's Go shuffles towards me and Nellie. He's wringing his hands like a chicken's neck.
I don't know what to say. You ladies saved my skin today.
Oh, it was our pleasure, sir.
The kid's sincerity flatters him, and some color comes back into his cheeks. I lean into his space, interrupting his growing self-confidence. That it was, sir. And we couldn't possibly accept any generous tokens of your gratitude. Recognition flashes in his eyes. To his credit, the old mustard-stained mutt catches on quick.
No, I insist. Listen, you ever need anything, you just let your old quartermaster know. I got plenty of stuff you'd find use for. Well, like I said, busy day. Thanks again, ladies.
White Street's scrapyard monarch scurries away with all the decorum of a chastised court jester. In a moment, it's just me and Nellie, and the wide expanse of White Street.
Take care out there.